All right. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. So glad to have you here. My name is Paul Tranny, and this is going to be fun. Internet inspired, right? Sort of taking the hot topics from the internet, from the good old interwebs, and solving the world's problems through design is the goal. So I'm so glad you are here. So feel free to say hi in chat. That would be fantastic. And I would love to chat with you. Cool. All right, I see you there. Yeah, people are filing in. Andrea Libre. Hi from Qatar. Nabel as well. Suraman, Josu. Awesome. I'm so glad you're all here. So let's go ahead and get started. It's going to be really fun. And just so you know, where the heck does this come from? Or our subject for the day is this lovely little tweet inspired by the interwebs and Nikita Beer, if I'm saying his name right. Name a food with worse UX than bruschetta. I'll wait. So the whole idea of what foods have horrible user experience, right? And then how can we fix them? That is the goal. So bruschetta is one thing that he names, and then other people have been responding. I don't know what Turkey sabzi is, but sure. People don't like the oil in peanut butter, how it rests on top. So let's solve some of these things. I think this will be really fun. But let me know what you like. If you could redesign foods, even like the burrito. Why are both sides open, right? Tuck it in, people, right? Can we do that? How can we solve other foods as well? So let's kind of jump in here. I thought about how to do this. I thought, okay, well, I could use Illustrator, right, and start to mock up and point out some of the foods, but also I want to fix them. So I'm going to spend some time. I was like, Illustrator, sure, I could use it, but I decided to use XD, just so you know, because this is just as easily done in here, foods with horrible UX. So yeah, it's like I can come in, sort of have a box right here, and from here, I'll just sort of drop in. Actually, that's what I want to do. Go out here. Guess what? What is named out there is bruschetta. Here's my bruschetta, right? I'm just going to drop that in like so. And then we can start to type in the name as well. But let me know what you think. I'm going to keep an eye on chat. That's an enchilada. Is that... Yes. Oh, sorry about that. They did say enchilada. So sorry. Enchiladas. That's right. So very similar to a burrito, right? I don't want to offend anybody when we get into cultural foods, but yeah, then they cover it on top, and then you have to eat it with a fork. So it's mixed signals. Is it wrapped so I can, eat it with my hands? But then again, it's like smothered as well. So enchiladas, burritos, I think those both fall into the same category. So thank you for correcting me there. Hello from India, right? The graphic design on most Trader Joe's stuff is pretty great. So here we go. I'm just going to do this really, really fast. Bruschetta. Problem is I'm probably going to misspell some of these. But how do we solve some of these? So again, right in here, I'm going to just select that, and I could do a repeat grid. So now I could repeat this multiple times. That was my plan. It's like, oh, I have this ability to have like a repeat grid, and then I can start dropping in other foods. So we talk about enchiladas and burritos. I could just drop that in and say, burrito. Right? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, pro tip. Are you ready for this? Michelle and Shior and Matteo from Germany. Where did these images come from? And feel free, do you know an food with horrible UX? Let me know, and then I can go ahead and search on it. I'm in stock.adobe.com. I have this selected. All right. Set to free. What? I'm just going to hit enter. Let's see what happens. I don't know if it lists out how many free images are, but there's way too many. So if you do want, we didn't get enchilada. E-N-C-H-E. E-N-C-H. Enchilada, typing that in. Is it going to come up? Heck yeah. Yeah, you have to eat it with a fork. Sure, why not? But check this out. These are free images. I don't know how we make money as a company. Oh, thank you, Noel. Redesign chips in a bag and not pull all the air and yeah, exactly, redesign bags of chips. Because half of the bag of chips is air. So it's like, don't be fooling me. Did you just cheat me out of some chips? Agreed, right? Really big sandwiches. So we'll just type in big sandwich. We're getting specific now. We're going to see if Adobe Stock has it as well. Yeah, do you ever go to a burger place and they have a ridiculously big burger? You're like, I can't stretch my mouth out that high or that big. So we will click great. What about fruits? Avocado toast. Ah, same thing with bruschetta. Luckily, I have avocado as well typed in there. But what about like fruits? Somebody mentioned, oh yeah, in this original post, they mentioned pomegranate, which again, the hardest thing about all this is spelling it correctly. Boom, yeah, such a pain. I think we would like pomegranates a lot more if I didn't even spell it right and it still came up. Basically, you know, it's delicious, but it's so inefficient as a fruit. Watermelon, right? Watermelons are awesome, but they have seeds, and then they're usually the size of my head. So those are more that I'd add to the list. As we go into XD, I would start dropping them in here. So we have pomegranates, bingo, right? And then watermelon is right here, dropping that in as well. Okay, so that's all I'm doing is I'm just using XD because honestly, it just makes things a little bit easier. Everything's kind of formatted, which is awfully nice in this repeat grid, which makes it cool. And, you know, I'm like, hey, Illustrator, I would like that as well. The banana, right? Here's one that I thought, okay, mango, that is good. What do you think about the mango, Patty? Try to, if it helps. Oh, coconut. So good. Coconut. So again, we're getting somewhere. Yeah, coconut, you're awesome. I love you. But why do you have to have this hard outer shell? So how can we redesign the coconut so it's like a lot thinner? So again, I plan on jumping into Photoshop now as well, or in a second. Banana. So the problem I have with the banana, and maybe you don't have this problem. Let me just open this up in Photoshop just so we can see everything a little bit bigger. Problem I have with banana is like, it kind of works, but it kind of almost doesn't. Like, it, you know, with a lot of fruit, you have to eat the whole thing. Otherwise, it's going to go bad or it's going to turn brown or something like that. So I was thinking about like a banana. If I had a God complex and I'm like, I'm going to redesign the banana, I would probably put buttons or something on it, right? So you could zip it back up or something. So that's what I was thinking. Like, could you have like little buttons? And again, we're just having fun today. And we're going to create some fun visuals as well. Okay, watermelon as well. Watermelon, again, still has that same problem. It's absolutely huge, right? Can we make a watermelon? This is what I'm going to do right now. I'm in Photoshop, and I know I'm jumping around a lot, but this is super fun. Let's do Object Selection Tool. So right up here, Object Selection Tool. Click. It will actually go through, analyze this layer, and then find all the objects in it. So it found this object and this object, right? Oh, it found this object, right? It starts to create these selections that then I can quickly grab. So I could click, this is the new object selection tool, and it will select that there. Perfect. It has it selected. And then I could do a copy and paste or create a mask or whatever. You get the idea. In this case, I might want to make it smaller. So again, we're reinventing fruits and foods and you know, things like of that nature. Let's convert this to a smart object. I'm just going to shrink this down, right? And there's with the object select tool, you have now a watermelon that's kind of the size of the palm of your hand. We'll throw a layer underneath. We'll hit B for brush. We'll make sure it's set to that same neutral tone. Anytime you're painting shadows, like go with a sampled color in the scene because you want to make sure your blacks are, of course, consistent. Strawberry. Okay, good. Strawberry. I don't know. Sometimes with fruits, I think there's like a little bit of a waste because, you know, you're throwing away the like leaves in different parts. So that's all I'm doing right in here, making this sort of the size of a coffee cup. We'll add a new layer on top. We'll clip it, create a clipping mask. Bingo. And then B for brush. This time I'm probably going to sample, not that same brown, but it has to be the darkest color in here, if not darker. But that's where I sample that dark green, and then I'll start painting like so. We could always change this, because right now it's covering up the light and dark pixels. We could always change that to just cover up the lighter pixels if we wanted to. And that's using blend modes right in here. See how I changed this to multiply? Right? Again, that looks pretty good. And now we have our handy watermelon. All right. Okay, Michelle says she likes the buttons and zipper on a banana. Oh, yeah. So do I. So do I. So we did this one. Great job, everybody. Let's just group that together. And this is our watermelon project. Then let's go ahead and take the banana. Here we are. Now... You ready for that? And thank you so much. Oh, Cody, pineapple. Thank you so much. I'm trying to make this interactive. Pineapple. Exactly. How can we redesign this pineapple? It's so much work, but such a cool fruit. You know, we got to slice it open and all that stuff. Again, we could license that for free. Just make sure this is selected free. And since I'm working in Photoshop, I can make sure that this is just a set to show me all the photos. We have almost 1,000 images of pineapples, and not lame images, and they're all free. Over 1,000. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not getting in trouble for showing all the free assets, but man, there's like a lot. So, okay, thank you so much for that. Pineapple, we can think about redesigning that. We're just kind of continuing on our way. Even as I take this, you know, I could still use object selection tool, but this is the only object on this layer. Right? So I don't even need to go through that process. What I do, you ready for this? Steve's in the house. Cody and everyone, is I just have that layer selected, and then in the properties panel, I'll select remove background. So it's one click. Oh, it was on white. White's in the background. One click will do the selection and create the layer mask for me. So that's what I usually do. Remove background gets me 90% there, and then I can go in and use refine edge if I want to, and just kind of roll over that if I want to kind of, you know, grab more or less pixels. You get the idea. Okay, something like that. There we are. We could throw a fun background on this really fast. Let's just throw a gradient, because again, I don't like working in all white if I could help it. Right, I'm going to be able to see that. Sure enough, I have actually a zipper right here. Oh, good. Oh yeah, same thing. Properties panel, remove background. I'm never going to need that white again. Let's actually grab some of this white out of here. This is where refine edge will work out pretty well. And let me know if you have questions, Bryhu. And just a recap for those of you just joining me, I'm only going to go for about 10 more minutes. But this is a recap of this lovely tweet by Nikita Bear, who says, you know, name a worse food with worse UX than bruschetta. You guys are not only naming that food or fruit, but we're redesigning them with our godlike powers that we have in Photoshop. Look at the power we have in here. It's like, oh, I am too powerful when it comes to things that are digital. Click OK. Seth, yeah, I don't know why we don't color WebP. That's a good question. WebP, I don't know. Nor has anyone ever asked me to, I don't know, to use the WebP format. So, but yeah, good question. I hear ya. and I'd like to apologize. I'm sorry. All right, Lauda, good to have you here. So notice how there's all this fabric. This is where I'd use the quick selection tool. I'd jump in here, quick selection tool. And I do think that's a bummer. Sorry about that, Seth. I hate it when, you know what? I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to use, this is the one reason I have, and if I had my iPad, I could be doing this in Photoshop on the iPad, but I'm just going to use the lasso tool, which a lot of people are like, may or may not like, but just like most tools, they're as good as the person using them, right? So I'm using a Wacom. It's a 22 inch Wacom, and it makes it like super easy to just like actually draw on the screen and select. But again, I could use Apple Pencil on the iPad and use Photoshop. Ba-doom. All right, so that's all. There's our zipper. I'm going to make this happen fast, everyone. Let's do this because you demand to be entertained. Okay, there. Paul, thank you so much for posting that. So here's our zipper. The key thing is we need the zipper to be like the same size as the banana. If I would have just shrunk it down, it's not going to look realistic, right? Because, you know, that means the banana would be the size of my arm. So we just got to make sure it's the correct size, which is about right there. Something like that. Maybe I'll take the banana, make it a smart object, scale it down a little bit. And we got to do a ton of work now, but this will be fun. Right over here. And make it a little larger. Bear with me. Here's my banana. I want to morph this into place. What would you use? I'm kind of curious. Michelle probably knows. But I would jump in and I would use Puppet Warp. Right? Might be a good place. I actually need to cut this up a little bit because it's already too long. I know I don't need this much. Let's just select it. Maybe I'll need this end, but we'll worry about that later. Take this. Mask it out. Let's invert it. Bring that down there. I have a lot up here. Shoot. Command J. Rasterize layer. I'm going to do this as fast as possible. Some of these things, you know, I don't know if I would necessarily do if I wasn't so tight on time, but such is life. I would separate out these different parts. Zip, zip. Let's add a zipper here. Do you guys ever like eat half of a banana and then set it down and then it just like starts to turn brown? You're like, oh, we're creating a resealable package for a banana. So there we are. At this point, this is where I'm going to do Puppet Warp. So we'll go to Edit, Puppet Warp. And now this is the ability to pin these points like so, zoop, and go like that, right? And bend that into place. Zipper on a banana. All right, let me know if you have questions. Just keeping an eye on chat. I've been going for about 18 minutes here. We have this part as well. We need to wrap that around too, right? Same process. Again, this is so long. I don't even need all of that. We'll chop it in half like that. Take this right here. And again, I'll use Puppet Warp. If you find yourself using the same tools over and over, turn them into a shortcut. I'm using Puppet Warp all the time. So I usually just mash all the keys together and then hit P because that's how I have my shortcuts, right? So right in here, we can zoom in. Oh yeah, bend it. Bend it like so. Super easy. And now we have the teeth sort of right there. Would the teeth be on the outside though? Now I'm second guessing this. Let's undo that. And let me show you something even cooler. I'm going to undo this. I think it kind of needs to be on the outside. We're going to convert this to a smart object. We're going to duplicate it. We're going to do our Puppet Warp on this one. Come on, Puppet Warp. There you are, buddy. So yeah, life just got complex. But you know, it's not easy being the creator of a brand new fruit or fixing the UX of foods, right? Like that. Maybe it goes like that. And maybe I don't need this part. I don't know. I'm still struggling with it, to be honest with you. Because I think it needs to bend in space. Like that. Anyways, let's try this one now. Wait for it. Hurry, Paul, hurry. We don't have much time. Anju, thank you so much. Anju, the reason I turned this into a smart object and then started manipulating it is it's going to remember all these points so I can go back and change it later, which I think is super cool. Right, so bring that down there like that. Zip, zip. Literally making zipper sounds. Oh, I did this wrong again. I'm so sorry. Command T, right click, flip horizontal. Sure, move it down here. Oh, my brain is hurting. Flip it around. There we go. Like that. There we have it. Puppet Warp. Ba. Ba. Zip. Shabam. Down. Like that. Oh, it's getting a little wonky here. Not to worry. Add that point in like so. Right? That's roughly what I want. You guys picking up what I'm laying down? Taking this. Still some bending and some things that I could do. But I would start to sort of marry this curve with this curve. So it needs to start to twist into place. That's all. Again, we won't go for perfection right now. You guys will get the idea. It's going to look good when it's smaller. You're starting to get the idea right now. For some of this, I might be able to use the blend modes, right? So maybe I'm going to throw down the other one really fast. Here's this one. Super long. We don't need it that long. Let's cut it. Hurry, I've gone for 22 minutes. And you demand to have this done within the next 2 minutes. Oh, that's quite a challenge. Flip vertical. Move this down. And then we'll bend this into place. But the key thing is, you guys know what's going on. Anju, I see you there. How you doing? UX food designer sounds perfect. How to get that job? Yeah. Jack, is that Jack Watson? Jack, what's up? Good to see you. Yeah, wouldn't this be an awesome dream job? So again, something like that, as this bends around, connects with that one. I'll pull this in. Right. Group all of these. Maybe play with the blend modes of the entire group. Probably not going to do anything that I want. Oh yeah, this is right here. For quick and dirty, it seemed like pin light. Oh, linear light looks kind of cool as I start to kind of wrap this up. You guys get the idea. Who wants a banana that you could zip up, huh? Last little part right here. Click. Bend this into place. And I will work more on this, just so you know. And I will post to my social media, just so you know. My name is Paul Tranny. And this is the only the beginning, it seems like. We're kind of partially there. So I'm going to post this to PTRANI and everything. And by the way, this is inspired by this lovely tweet. Nikita Beer being inspired by the internet, right? Which I think is super fun. And by you guys, obviously the comments in here and everything you guys said, just to recap. I also spent a little time in XD, right? Sort of outlining the different foods that were like, oh, these needs to be fixed. Banana. Why did everything start with B? I just noticed. Oh, maybe not these, but you get the idea. That's what I did here in XD. And let's not forget about our lovely watermelon that's easily just the size of like our fist. We can hold it in the palm of our hand. Hey, guess what? Orange. The orange fruit. Congratulations. You're an awesome fruit. You're designed well. Fairly easy to peel. What about the apple? Wash those apples, but perfect UX. I think apples nail it. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Feel free to contact me. My name is Paul Tranny, and I've been doing stuff on NFTs and all of that. But more importantly, let's hear from you. If you catch anything on the internet, we would love to hear about it. So just hit us up in the comments and elsewhere, or me personally would love to hear from you. That's my name right there. Boop, enter. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Until next time, until next week. So thank you so much for watching. We will see you all later, and really appreciate you. Thanks.